Hello, all conscious mothers. It's Honor here with today's topic, diving into why gentle parenting fails moms and or our families. So, if you've been following the Janet Lansbury path, the connected parenting path, the respectful parenting path, that resonates for you, I am talking to you today. So I work with highly sensitive moms mostly. Most of the moms who come to work with me are big feelers, have big emotions, are very many are type A analyticals who don't know how to like deal with being a big feeler and how to deal with being highly sensitive. And many of us are drawn to gentle the idea of gentle parenting. Also, many of us birth children who are highly sensitive, who have big feelings, who are spirited, or who are ADD. And so, how does this all fit in? And how do these pieces come together to help you succeed as a mom? That's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to be calling out a few of the things that people typically do wrong or get wrong about gentle parenting, as well as what it's really about and how to have that kind of peace in your family, that kind of connection with your child, so that you feel amazing about the job you're doing as mom. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Say hi when you come on and tell me what you're here for. I want to start there. What did you come to this live talk for today? What are you wanting to know more about? Thank you so much for everyone who commented on the post a few days ago. And again, I think yesterday, whenever that was, people sharing your experiences of really hearing where you're suffering, where you're stuck, where it's not working for you, and what the next piece is. I want to hear what you're wanting. What are you wanting to create? As moms, we are experts in noticing the problem, in trying to fix the problem, in noticing what's broken, what's not working, where are we stuck, where is someone else stuck, who's to blame. We're experts in noticing all of that, but what we're less great at, that's the muscle we need to build as mothers, is where do I want to go? And I work with my clients on this all the time. Where are you headed? What is your outcome? What results are you wanting that you aren't living in now? And this is very different from the old paradigm of therapy. It's also very different from medicating the problem, which modern medicine is still doing. This is a different approach. This is approach of where am I now? Not where I want to be. Where do I want to be, and where do I want to go? And then it's a matter of filling in that gap with strategy, right? With the learning, with the skills that you need to get there. So, tell me where you're watching from. Tell me what it is you're wanting. I'm scrolling, but I might not be able to see. I'm hoping I can see your comments. I'm just going to put it out there that I can. So when you comment, I'll see. So in this mysterious world of gentle parenting, which drives parents crazy, right? Which totally runs a rift between if you're in a marriage relationship, in a partnership with a man, it definitely can run a rift between, or a woman. I've seen this happen there too, but it can run a rift between parenting styles. So I'm going to be the gentle parent. So I'm going to be the good cop. And then my partner is going to be the authoritarian bad cop who doesn't kind of catch up in terms of like, this is how we're going to be parenting now. We're going to parent from connection and love and respect. But what happens when things get hard with a lack of strategy, real strategy, and another thing I'm going to talk about is that we end up flipping out. As mom, you end up flipping out into overwhelm, into panic, into anxiety because you don't really know how to apply that system in a way that works for you and for your kids. And this is the thing that I've said a million times, but it's nothing is a one size fits all approach. And gentle parenting is no different. It is not a one size fits all approach. It is a template for parenting in a way that enables us to be authentically true to who we are. If you're drawn to gentle parenting, then I'm going to make a guess that you are someone who really strives for balance, for harmony, who really treasures knowing who your child is. You really want to know who they are. You really maybe came into motherhood with this idea of what it was going to look like. So raise your hand if you had a vision for what your, you can use one of two things. I love the analogy of the birth analogy. Those of you who birthed your babies from your own body may connect with this. So you went into your childbirth experience, your pregnancy experience with an idea of what it was going to be like, right? A vision for what a gentle birth might look like for you. This may not be all of you, I get it, but you may, if the birth analogy doesn't work. I know I really I practice hypnobirthing. I was big into visualizing and aligning with what I wanted, and that the first time looked about the opposite of that, and then the second time having a VBAC was very much aligned with me being in charge and the owner of my body and the owner of my experience, and just utilizing the support that was here for me. And it was very beautiful. I would not call it gentle. I would not call it romantic or gentle in any ways, but you know what I'm talking about. So, did you have a vision for either your birth or your family? What kind of mom you were going to be? What kind of mother you dreamed of being to those children that you slotted into your vision? Think for a moment about who you thought you were going to have as kids. And let's just all have a laugh about that. Everybody just let out the collective laughter. What did you think it was going to be like? Okay, now here's the reality of what it's like, right? And in the beginning, gentle parenting sounded so good, especially at this baby. And you just imagine and dream of this connection and the beautiful respect that you'll feel for this person and they'll feel for you, and how connected you'll be through all of time, and how wonderful that sounds that you can really deeply know your child or children. How beautiful, right? There's nothing wrong with that idea, that concept. It's lovely. The tenets of gentle parenting: prioritizing relationship, giving your children choices, letting them choose, letting them be in charge of their experience, right? Raising autonomous kids, having a respectful connection, meaning I respect you, so you respect me. Presence, right? Being here now, present for what my kiddo wants to tell me or share with me, or that they really just need me to be with them in a tough emotion. Presence. Not running my to-do list or cringing when they ask me to play with them, but really openness, presence. Okay, so are you with me so far? A lot of you on, which is beautiful, and I'm not seeing any comments. Give me a like if you can hear me and you're on and all is well and you're present for this conversation. I want participation. Hit the like button, give me some hearts, tell me if you're here and you can track what I'm saying. I'm guessing I'm not seeing reactions, so I'm just going to check here. Okay. I think I'm in the right place. All right, you guys. Thanks for your comments. I see you. I mean, my desktop isn't working, but you're here. Yay. Okay, love it, love it, love it. All right, I'm going to keep you guys here so I can see you, and this can be interactive because that's the whole point. All right. Okay, so yeah, I'm reading, catching up to your comments now and laughing. Brittany, I didn't know I was going to be blessed with the exact opposite personality of who I am. She's so outgoing and strong-willed. Exactly. So here's the thing: our temperament is one where the idea of gentle parenting really appeals to us. Often what we get is the strong-willed child. We get the spirited child. We get the kiddo who's super distracted or high energy or whatever. And then it's like, clunk, the gears stick and we don't know what to do, right? Okay. So Here's what I want to say. I just want to blow up a little bit of a limiting belief right from the beginning with this talk. So, um, similarly to, no one prepared you for childbirth, like, because it's just not possible. We have this idea that we get deep into parenting, second kid, third kid in, and we go like, nobody prepared me for this. There's no handbook. I didn't have the training. Nobody prepared me for this. I'm winging it, right? That's just kind of the nature of how most people do parenting. Um, I'm going to blow up that limiting belief for you, and I think it's going to empower you, which is why I'm doing it, to say that it isn't true that no one prepared you. It isn't true that your parents prepared you to be a parent. Now, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, doesn't it? Like, I'm just going to let that sink in for a second. So, it isn't true that no one prepared us to be parents. We had the training as children by the way we were parented or not, right? So, let's just call that what it is. Maybe the parenting you received was not at all what you needed or wanted and was a total mismatch. Or maybe you had some really great holding and security and safety and love, but it isn't how you want to parent your kids. Either way, you learn what you do want, what you don't want, based on what you had, which is the training we bring into motherhood with us. Okay? So we lived it, we experienced it on the receiving end, and now what are we going to do about it when we have our own children? So often we're drawn to gentle parenting because of what we don't want to be, right? We had an example of parenting that was tough for us. It was not a match. Maybe there was abuse in our life growing up, and we know we know what we're not going to be. We're not going to be that, right? I'm not going to be that. I want to be something else. And so here's this approach that sounds wonderful, right? I want to be better than my parents were. We all do. We want to be better than the parents that we grew up with. That's just human nature, right? So, okay, so back to the tenets of gentle parenting then. It sounds so great, doesn't it? To be present, to be respectful, to be authentically connected to my kids. Of course, like who wouldn't want that? That's fantastic, right? All right, so here's how it fails. I'm just going to cut right to the chase. I see it fail in two ways. And we can keep this so simple. It fails for two main reasons. All right. And how do you know if it's failing? Are you happy? Do you have energy to do your work and to play with the kids? Or are you obsessing over what's not working and like really unhappy because you just can't get through all the things in a day, and your children push your buttons, and it's no fun, and you just feel like you want to run away and escape or hide in your bedroom under the covers? That's how you know it's not working. If it's not working, if you're boiling over, if you're frustrated, if you're irritated, if you are feeling triggered a lot, it's not working. Okay, it's not working. If your kids are melting down a lot and there's friction there, and you're in power struggles, or you're trying to be gentle, and then you blow the lid, it's not working for you. Okay, it's probably obvious. You know if it's working or not. So it fails in two ways for people that I see. Okay. And I'm just hearing, before I go into this, I just kind of need to say for the record that I totally subscribe to all the tenets of gentle parenting. I love it. I love it. It works for me. My children feel respected. They feel loved every minute of every day. No, because I'm human. I make mistakes. I'm not there for them. I work full-time job. They're homeschooled by their daddy. Like, we F it up, whatever. Life happens. And also, there are basic core principles that we agree to every day, that we're present for each other, that we listen, that we share, that we accept, that we forgive, that we are present. Okay. So, here's how it fails in two ways. One, we aspire to love our children no matter what, to be present for them no matter what, to bear witness to their experience. We subscribe to be respectful, gentle, and present, right? We subscribe to Prioritize our relationship with them above all. We want to give them options and choices, and we want them to feel in control of their experience because that feels empowering and that feels amazing. And if that's aligned for you, then you're in the right place. All right. So you want those things, and then you have the humans, and they have absolutely no clue how to be humans. And it's your job to teach them. And boy, are their emotions raw. They are everywhere. They're raw. They are chaotic. When these humans don't get what they want, they create chaos, right? And you feel yourself spinning and spiraling out. When they spiral, you spiral. So what's happening here? The first way that gentle parenting fails, that our attempts to be present and gentle with our kids fails, is that we never learned how to be gentle with ourselves. We never learned the self-love. We don't know how to take amazing care of ourselves emotionally, mentally, spiritually, so that when they need it, everyone in the room is lost. Nobody in the room is grounded or knows how to come back to center. It will fail every time, you guys. It will fail every time. And the reason why it's failing, and hear me when I say this, is not because you're bad or you're dumb or you're messed up or you're traumatized. It's not because of those reasons. The reason why it fails is because you're lacking a skill set in how to be loving and gentle and present and respectful of yourself so that you can do it for your kids. It's pretty obvious, isn't it, when you hear it that way? If I don't know how to regulate my own emotions, clear my head, stay focused, stay present, if I don't know how to prioritize and systematize inside of me, then I can't do it for you, this little raw, crazy human. I can't do that. That's too big of an ask. So we have bitten off more than we can chew in terms of gentle parenting when it comes to our evolutionary skill set. It hasn't been handed down yet, you guys. We're learning it now as moms. Right now, I'm teaching it right now. Moms are learning it, and then kids are getting it now. But so next generation, they're going to get that. They're going to know how to do that. But we didn't grow up with it. We don't know it. All right. So that is the first one. How can we be suddenly present? How can we expect ourselves under stress when a kid is screaming and out of control to be present, loving, gentle for this kid? But oops, we forgot to do it for ourselves first. I don't even know what that means for myself. What would that even look like? I don't even have a model for that. That's where most women are, okay? All right. Got it? Are you with me? All right. Now, okay, I'm reading your comments. The second way it fails, you guys, is that we don't know what to do. We don't know how to trust or aren't connected to our intuition, so that we get lost in the action in front of us. And when we don't know what to do in parenting, when we don't know how to listen to the inner voice and trust the inner voice, then where are we going to go? Where do we go, you guys? If we haven't built the new motherboard, we're going to the old backup system. We're going to the default engine. And the default engine is going to be what our parents did to us. So when you are confused by how or why you are yelling, you're screaming, you are actually hating your kid, any of that, wishing you were never a mom, feeling like you want to run away from home, when that happens for you and it's like, what is happening to me? Because this isn't me. I wanted these kids. Some of you worked for 10 years to bring your family into existence. Some of you spent, talked to someone recently, like basically around $100,000 to bring your kids into this world. Like, that's a lot of intention. That's a lot of energy to bringing these kids here. And if it wasn't that, it was everything you've done to keep them alive since then, since you had them, since they came to you, since they found you. So when you have that experience, like, who am I? This is not me. Before you start beating yourself up for that, just slow it down and just notice what's missing. I'm being my parents. I'm yelling like my dad. I'm being harsh like my mom. Or maybe you're saying, I could never live up to the nurturing mom I had. I just can't be sweet like she is. Whatever it is that you are not being, that you want to be, just notice. Slow down enough to notice. I'm reverting back to the parenting that I was taught. Because why? Why fear-based parenting? Why authoritarianism? Why threats? Why are we having to dominate and overpower our kids to make them hear us or make them listen or get their attention or get them to follow directions? So subsuming, like overcoming them, taking away their power. Why are we doing that? Because our parents did it to us, because that was just the order of the day. I'm not going to judge it or call it bad. It's just kind of what there was. And so it is what it is. We are the products of that kind of parenting. And so under stress, we're going to be that. Okay. It just is what it is. So, or we're going to want to be that, but we're going to split off from ourselves because we can't live with ourselves. If we are that, we can't be scary like our dad or mom. So we're going to split off from ourselves and dissociate and go numb or drink a bottle of wine a day. That's what we're going to do, because we can't tolerate being that. Either way, you're not yourself. Either way, you're not living in the present moment with your kids. You're missing out on your own life. So the missing piece there in the second way that it fails is that I don't know what to do. Meaning, I don't have the training. I don't have the training. I don't have the skill set for this kid. I don't have the temperament for this kid. So I don't know where to go with it. I don't know what to do. All right, you guys still with me? Okay, so which way? And I'll answer questions at the end. We'll take questions at the end. But for now, the question is, which way are you, is it failing you? Is gentle parenting failing you in either of those ways? The first way, which, let's recap, was I don't know how to be gentle with myself. I can't calm myself down. How am I going to do it for this kid in a gentle way? Or two, I don't actually know what to do. I don't know what to trust. I don't know which direction to go when I'm parenting and things are challenging or hard. So I just turn to my default. I just kind of parent from instinct, and I don't like it. I don't like what comes through in my instinct. So drop in the chat. Oh, good. I'm seeing your comments now. Hi, Monica. Glad you're here. Okay. So, yay, I see friends on here. Yay, Awakened Mothers. I'm so glad you're here. All right. So, drop in there one or two. And then I'm going to share with you now, and stay on for this part because you're going to want to hear this, 3 ingredients to having the outcome that gentle parenting is meant to give you, meaning connection, meaning respect, meaning I'm able to be present with my kids and really enjoy them and not miss out on this time. And guess what? They respect the heck out of me. They do what I ask them to do. Why? Because I'm winning at this game of parenting. Because I'm a damn good mom, and I know what to do when my kids flip out, and I don't flip out when they flip out, right? So there's just that energy, just that certainty, just that calm, that goodness. We're going to talk about how to embody that, okay? So a little bit of both. The second one. Okay. 1 and 2, reading your comments. Okay. So it's a little bit of a mix. We're raising consciousness with everything you hear today. You're raising your consciousness, how to find that missing piece for becoming the mom you want to be. That's what we're doing here. So good work staying with me. So the ingredients to having that kind of confidence as a mom, that kind of trust in yourself, so that kind of calm in your family and home, meaning when mom trusts herself and is guiding the ship, then kids also model that and learn how to trust their cues and themselves rather than what's going on in most families. It's I'm just going to call it like I see it. Kids are running the show. They're reacting to all of their own emotions. Nobody's there to contain them. And then the parent is then collectively reacting to all of their emotions. And then the two parents at the head are bouncing off of each other's reactivity. That's what we're doing in most nuclear families. And we can do better. We can do better. But it starts with us. It starts with our own centering, our own aligning. So the first strategy, number one, obviously, and you know what I'm going to say, is getting control over your own emotions. You have to get that peg in the hole first before you make any other moves. Don't bother reading the Janet Lansbury blog because you're going to feel like crap about yourself if you don't have control over your own system, your emotions, your nervous system, and your thoughts. It's all connected. You know, where most clients are when they meet me is, some good days, some bad days. But on the bad days, there's just no strategy. There's no coming back to center. There's just really no consistent plan for how to get into a steady emotional place. And so that's what we're talking about, that kind of control over your emotions where you're clear about what you want and you're creating it every day. All right. Some people get upset when they hear me say, I'm a powerful creator of my experience. I think it's a really empowering phrase. But the way I teach it to my clients is, I am powerfully creating my experience, meaning the home I live in, the communication I have with my kids, the dreams that I dream for myself, the goals I set and accomplish. I'm powerfully creating my experience on a daily basis, on a micro level, meaning how I feel when I wake up in the morning, how I feel when I greet my kids, how I feel when they're upset. That's the very most basic level of controlling my emotions and my experience and powerfully creating the life that I want to have, the one I want to live in. I don't want to live in response and reaction to everyone else's chaotic emotions. I'm the lighthouse. I'm going to be me either way. All right. So you got to control your emotions. Number two is you need the mindset for running your home and your family in a way that works for you. I really want you to sit in that for a minute. This is so buried in the unconscious for most women. If you're living in reaction to your kids' moods, in scrambling to try to make everyone feel okay, in worrying about upsetting them, in tiptoeing or walking on eggshells around your one kid or your partner, or they're doing that about you, works both ways. You're in a headspace that is so disempowered that when a challenge comes, you know what happens. It throws you, you get thrown with it. So what I'm talking about when I say create the mindset for running your home and family in a way that works for you, what I mean is by design, by conscious design. So would it work for me to run this business at the level that I run it, taking care of all of my clients and homeschool my kids between the hours of 9 and 12 every day? No, that would not work for me. So I had to make choices about that. Would it work for me to create my life in a way that keeps everything sort of at like I'm trying to say it very diplomatically. Would it work for me to design my life around one of my children who has specific needs? Would it work for me to compromise my health and well-being, my daily meditation, my spiritual practice, the support I receive from my team? Would it work for me to not have any of that so that I can try to curate an experience for one of my kids so that they don't ever get upset? No. I'm giving extreme, dramatic examples, but you get the point. So, all right. I got to have a mindset for running my home and family in a way that works for me. What I see most mothers doing is running it for everyone else. Like they never considered that they have needs. You may never have considered that you have actual and real needs that are worthy of being met. And that if you don't meet those, there's no hope of regulating your own emotions and taking control of your life. Okay. Are you with me? And now the third one. If you're going to do those two things, you're going to need a strategy. You can't control your emotions and build a bulletproof mindset for running your family in a way that works for you and others without a strategy. And you're going to need a step by step strategy. You're going to need a proven strategy. And you guys, this doesn't come through focusing on the problem. The strategy is not one that you need to or even could develop or create. It is one you need to go out and learn. It is one that someone else who's already figured this out can teach you. And that isn't the friend you vent to on the phone. I just rewatched Laura Card's interview. Thank you, Laura Card. I just rewatched that interview, and she says something so brilliant in that interview where she's sharing about how she would vent to friends or sisters, and then they would kind of validate and like, but then what? And this is what we're doing all the time. We dump on our partners and go, this is what's wrong and this is wrong. And I want you to fix it, is what we're saying. Just fix it. And we're looking to this person who has no training in mental health, no expertise in emotional health, no parenting expertise. I mean, in 99.9% of the cases, like your partners are not parenting experts. And we're saying, like, you need to fix this. Fix my anxiety. Fix my overwhelm. Make the kids do the things. You need to clean the kitchen and do the laundry so that I get. Okay, you get my point. They can't fix it for us. This is our strategy to learn and align with. All right? So, what I want the big takeaway for you to be today is that if you are trying gentle parenting because from the bottom of your heart, you know it's a fit for you and it's a match for you, but you have no idea how that translates into having your child actually cooperate with you, or how it translates into dealing with epic meltdowns that last an hour and come, faster than you could keep up. I've lived that story. If you're lost in that, it's because you're lacking one of those few things. And likely the strategy is the biggest piece. It's the skill set. And parenting skill sets are not a one size fits all. It comes from your own inner scaffolding. We really have to build that and customize it for you and for your kids. And this is work I'm doing with my clients that sometimes parenting coaches or other people that you work with one-to-one will attempt to do, is to help you to design or cater an approach to your particular needs and your child's needs. The thing that most parenting coaches are missing and therapists are missing is it has to work for you. This isn't just about your kid. This isn't about just what your kid needs. And the way that I teach it is first we get clear on what we need. First we get clear on the kind of lifestyle we need. First we get clear on what creates health for us and what creates sanity for us. And once you're clear on those things, then you're able to bring that into the creation process of knowing and learning how to actually get your kid to respond, how to respect your kid when they're being disrespectful, right? How to stay connected and giving choices when it's never worked before, how to make it work for you now. And let me see if Martha's on here. I think she might be. Martha, are you with us? I think she might be. Oh yeah, I hope so. Martha, you're my big inspiration for really creating this workshop today, because you know, so many moms who I work with have literally worn themselves down to nothing. No energy, autoimmune disease, exhaustion, sometimes depression, just feeling so run down. And there's nothing left to give. And then we're sort of looking at the bottom of the tank, trying to scrape that for like, what can be left for me? And that is the hardest way to do motherhood. The most efficient, productive way to do motherhood is to learn the strategies and systems so that when you're parenting, it's parenting in a way that works for you, from your strength, from your clarity, from your resilience, from your intuitive knowing about who you are, what you need, and what your kids need. That's the parenting they're going to respond to. They're not going to respond to a cookie cutter approach like gentle parenting unless it's meaningful for you and unless they can feel that you mean it. You have to mean business. So if you're wobbling and doubting on when to set a boundary or how to set a boundary or a fear of upsetting your kids, then you're not in a place where you're going to be able to handle when they're having a tough moment. And I'm preaching to the choir. I know you already know that. So here's my sort of closing on this, and then I'm happy to answer questions if you guys want to post them. So kids with too much power in the house, I wrote kids as kings doesn't work in my notes. Your child being the king of your house does not work. It doesn't work. Your children don't want to have that much power. You know what else they don't want? They don't want to feel emotionally chaotic, and they don't want to worry that they're too much for you. And they can see when they are not contained, that and you are not contained, that their behavior is causing you a lot of grief, and that's also damaging to the relationship. So we just want to calm everything down by calming down mama. Okay? So when we decide what we need and we get good at meeting that bar of our own needs within ourselves, then we will be able to create a world around us in our homes and in our families that really supports everyone succeeding. Okay? Makes sense? And that then is what creates the peaceful home environment or the connection where spontaneous fun happens because mom's relaxed, because mom is fulfilled, because mom's happy, because you as mom are taken care of. You've done that for yourself. You weren't looking outside of you for anyone else to be anything in order for you to be happy. You guys get that? So we're able to then respect who our kids are. We're able to feel connected. We're able to be present for them. And we're also, you know, giving ourselves permission to live in alignment with what we need, meaning sometimes kids are going to want things and we're not giving them. We're not going to be able to give them. We're not going to want to give them. We're going to need our rest time. We're going to need to take care of ourselves. And so we're going to need to be able to hold that boundary and say, I love you so much, but I got to take care of me right now with zero guilt so that our children can learn to grow and take care of themselves too. So I want to do all those things for my kids. I want to be all those things for my kids, but not at the expense of my health or my happiness, not at the expense of my marriage. Never. Never. We have to be that fierce in our beliefs that we are willing to learn what we don't know so that we can enjoy them while we have them here, right? So you all know, and you've heard, like, if you go down, everybody's going down with you. If you're already down, likely everyone's down with you. If you're unhappy, your kids are not at their best. If you're not fulfilled, your children are likely pushing all your buttons, vying for your attention, fighting to get your attention, fighting with each other. If you're not confident in how you're parenting, they are likely testing the hell out of you, taking every advantage that they can. And it doesn't feel good to them either. It doesn't feel good to them. It feels rotten. But they can't stop because that's the way human relationships work. So, if we're afraid of how to contain our kids' big emotions, or we don't know how to control our own, if we make it about us, their behavior, if we personalize it, if we argue with them about anything under the sun, who's right or wrong, what's okay, what's not okay, then we are missing out on a chance to be present and connected with our kids while we have them. We are missing out on the whole reason behind why we envision this life for ourselves. We're missing out on all the good stuff. We'll miss it if we're not present for it. So, to recap, you guys, if you're missing either of these pieces, knowing how to control your own emotions, and I don't mean white knuckling it, I mean expanding into joy. I mean like feeling solid, secure, anchored in your energy, healthy detachment, healthy disconnect from your kids so that you can witness for them, contain for them, hold for them. Can you be gentle and loving with yourself? If you're missing that piece, then that's one of the big reasons why it's failing. And the second reason is if you don't know what to do, you just don't have the parenting strategy. Okay, so either of those, then remember the ingredients for creating the life you want are one, you got to step into ownership of your experience. Learn how to navigate emotions. Clear out the junk and clutter that you've brought from your own childhood. Okay? That is work. And that is work you do not want to try alone. You do not want to try that alone. You need to invest in yourself to do that. You need to hire the person who knows how to guide you through to do that. And don't ask someone who doesn't have the skill set to try to do that for you. Listen to your instinct on that one. Okay. If you're working with a therapist or a mental health practitioner or a counselor who cannot hold space for you and help you to integrate trauma and to be your most empowered self now, then sorry, he or she's got to go. You need to find somebody who can really help you solve the problem. The second piece is build your mindset for running the home and family in a way that works for you so it can work for everybody, right? It doesn't work for you. It's not going to work for everybody. That's just the golden rule of motherhood. And then the third piece is you got to learn your strategy, all right? You got to build and learn your strategy and your skill set to a point where you can show up being the mom you want to be, no matter what kind of day your kid is having. And I'll tell you that I see it every day, all the time, in working with my clients over these last 16 years. When mom gets clear, when mom releases what's in the way of being present, connected, gentle, and loving, when we get that piece out of the way, then the next step is that we can help our kids heal. We can eliminate patterns in them that we've already set in motion. There's time, you guys. There's always time. I've worked with parents who have 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old that have rewritten these stories and patterns, and relationships have healed dramatically before kids left home. It's never too late. It's never, never too late. Okay, so if you're looking for someone to help and support you in getting clarity about what you need, then reach out to me. Okay. You may not know if you're ready for the next step. That's all right. Or you may be someone who is already determined to find a solution. You are committed to finding a way that works to be the mom you want to be. You don't want to live with chaos. You don't want to live with daily meltdowns. You're tired of your kids being off the hook and absorbing your disorganized energy, and you're ready to put an end to that because you know you're a powerful creator. Then reach out and we'll see if we're a fit. I'll see if I can help you. If I know that I can help you, I will tell you how that path looks. and what it entails. And yes, it requires commitment. And yes, it requires an investment in you and prioritizing yourself in a way that is bigger than you ever have before. How do I know that? Because we're eliminating overwhelm and breaking out of anxiety. So, yes, it's going to require commitment. So, if you're just dabbling or window shopping, don't come to me to window shop or dabble. Okay, that's not what this is about. If you want to find out what it takes to learn the strategy that is going to break open this mystery for you of how to have the family joy that you want, then book a clarity call with me. The link I will pop into the video above this video. So check there for the link and get on my calendar. And the spots are super limited because I'm really, really full lately. But check back every day if you can't find spots. And if you check back at the beginning of every day, then the calendar opens up a little bit more every day. So just get in there, keep trying every day and get in there. And then we'll have our call, and the clarity call is free. And what you'll get in that session is help and support in clearing away the haze and the clutter so that you can see the truth of where you are, what you don't want, and where you do want to go and what that looks like. And then we'll look at what it gives you. All right. If I know I can help you get from where you are now to there, then I might invite you into Awakened Motherhood, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I upset someone who hung up on me last week because I told her I'm not the right person for you. So I'm just going to give this disclaimer here and now. Like, I can't help every one of you, but there's a high likelihood that if you have tuned in here and you feel a connection to me and you've listened to client interviews and you do have a strong sense that you're ready to do the work, that we might really be a match. So reach out either way. You will get massive clarity and value from that call. I want to take your questions, so I'm going to check on my phone so that I can see the questions, and let's go ahead and see if you have things that you want answered, and I'm happy to do that now. So, any questions in terms of anything that I've covered today, something you're stuck in, anything you didn't understand, or something you want to know more about, then feel free to drop those now in the chat. And just realizing I meant to do this on another platform. There's a little bit of a delay on here. So you guys drop in your questions in the chat, and I'll just stay on for a second and see those so I can answer those. You can also come back and leave them as comments after you watch the complete workshop. But my time is limited in circling back to answer those these days. So do it now while we're here. Hi, Amy. Yay. And hi, Monica. Excited to talk to you later. I'm just looking at your comments, Brittany. Yeah, I have some me work to do. Good. I'm glad you like the real talk. I tend to lose people who aren't into the real talk. I'm good with that. I'm glad it works for you. So, yes, do you also work with marriages? Yes, because it's all connected. And I mean, that's a great question. Thanks for asking that, Robin. So, marriage is my mission is to help mothers, as many mothers as I can, to break out of everyday anxiety and to eliminate overwhelm from their lives completely. And a part of that symptomatology is our own sort of emotional regulation piece, our mental health, but another part of it is all of our relationships. So parenting is one major pillar, and the other is partnership marriage. And we can't do the inner work without also addressing what's going on in those areas. And often what will happen organically is that we're flushing out a lot of junk that's in those channels that we've been kind of depositing into there because we had a lot of we had a lot of stories. We had a lot of blame going or resentment going or whatever that was building up in that sort of relationship as a depository. And so, yes, we are 100% clearing junk out of relationships as we become more clear and aligned in ourselves. And I've worked with so many of my clients in Awakened Motherhood specifically who have focused solely on relationship and on marriage, and lots of great miracles there to celebrate. And hopefully some of you who are in Awakened Motherhood who have had marriage celebrations will take this as an invitation to come and post in the group about what's moved and changed for you so that Robin can see that. Let's see. Jade, hi Liza. Can you give an example of how to set a limit, like maybe around getting ready in the morning or cleaning? Yeah, that would help. So, so how to set a limit. So, and it's tricky, that it gets like this conversation depends on who I'm talking to, and it depends on who your child is. Um, knowing you have a strong willed child, um, setting a boundary, we might be wanting to create a boundary, or we might be wanting to give a direction, or we might be wanting to set and hold a limit. And setting and holding a limit, I think of mostly as in a kid being like, I want this. Can I have this? Can I have this? And you say no. And then it's pushing, testing, whatever. And your limit is my answer is no. And I can only do this when I am connected to me and in my beautiful life of bliss and my atmosphere of life is good no matter what, which is the one that I inhabit, which I teach my clients to inhabit, um, so that I will be able to say to her, um, I said no about that thing that you wanted. My answer is no. And I'm not going to answer you again. My answer is going to continue to be no. If you need help finding something else or another way or a way to entertain yourself or whatever it is, then let's think about that together. But if there are big emotions there or there's protesting, then what I'm going to do is resource into me. I'm going to make sure that that kiddo knows I love her and that she is supported and that I'm here when she needs me and wants me. But in the meantime, I've got some things of my own that I'm going to be taking care of. So that might be my limit in that situation. Setting a limit, a boundary in another situation might look totally different. It might be like, hey, um, let's brainstorm and come up with a plan together for this thing. And then once we decide on what it is and we agree on it, and then my kiddo takes ownership for it, it's theirs completely. Meaning they choose their chores, they agree to their chores, and then they're going to follow through on the chores. I don't remind them, I don't follow them around, I don't stalk them about it. If it doesn't happen, then we come back together for a productive conversation about, hey, what got missed, what happened, and what do we need to do to fix it. Meaning, I want you to come up with the ideas, and then I want you to take full ownership of it. So I could talk parenting all day long, but I'll stop there with that question. Um, a lot of what we're doing in Awakened Motherhood is teaching moms the language, the energy to be in, the language of what to say, and what strategy is going to work for them. So that really is a huge piece of the nuts and bolts of this step-by-step process that I'm helping my clients through to become more empowered in how to be that kind of present mom that they want. Um, yeah, thanks for asking for that example. That was perfect. Um, what else, you guys? Other questions? I'm scrolling back. Anybody else? I don't see anything else posted, but you're welcome to leave them in the comments. I just don't want to. I'm heading into another meeting and I need 5 minutes to meditate and regroup and recenter. So I'm happy to circle back if you guys want to drop questions below. The call booking link is my name. It's www.honorjanetsky.com/call. If you are really ready to dive in and have a really honest conversation with me to get the clarity about what you want, then let's do it. Okay. A reminder to turn notifications on in this group so that you can participate like you have done today. This has been awesome, amazing participation today. If you don't want to miss the blasts and the posts about when I'm coming on live to teach or train or workshop, then go just inside Consciously Created Motherhood. Go to settings and turn notifications on for when I post or go live. That will give you the heads up, and then you can just see it in your notifications and just click from there. It will take you straight to here. Okay, so people always ask about that. Um, oh, that's a great question, Milena. How do you explain to other kids about someone in special ed class? Meaning, if I have a child who has special needs, how do I talk to other parents or other kids about that? Or just clarify that for me a little bit so that I can come back and answer. And you guys hit me up if there are other questions. I'm so happy to address those. And I love you. I'm glad you're here. We're raising consciousness. We are blowing up um, the old paradigms that we don't want to drag with us into the future of authoritarian parenting and fear based parenting. Because you know what? We're better than that. We get to do better than that. We get to feel amazing about the mom that we are. We get to feel amazing about how we parent our kids. I want to feel proud of how I speak to my children. I want for it to be okay that if someone was always listening to the way I was talking to my children, that I would feel good about it. That if all of you could hear everything that I said to my kids in any moment, that I could hold my head high. That's my goal, that I'm that happy, that I don't ever need to drop low, that I don't ever need to threaten, right? That's my goal, that I'm living in that space all the time. And I want that for you too. I don't want you to suffer. I don't want you to struggle. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's moving mamas out of struggle and out of suffering. So do reach out. Don't suffer in silence. Don't suffer alone. All right. Much love to you guys. Take care, and I will see you all